Good morning, Southern California. Fred Arnold on AM 1220 KHTS. I'm joined by Jeff Bugbee. Jeff, I'm going to introduce Jeff real quickly. Jeff's lived in Santa Clarita Valley, real estate agent since 9 years old. The reason why I want to emphasize that is a real estate professional. I think it's important you know your community. So Jeff definitely does that. Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, and you serve all of Southern California.
All of Southern California, yeah.
Absolutely. And Patti Handy. Patti Handy's been a mortgage professional at American Family Funding for many years, and been a finance professional, and also author about a book for help your kids be smarter and make more money than you do, and a book on surviving divorce. So welcome to the show.
Thank you.
And I think you have some questions for Ed for buyers and sellers, huh?
Jeff.
I'm sorry, Jeff.
You knew that you were not going to do that.
Let me joke about that. The first time I met Jeff, I called him Ed, and I thought his name was Ed. So there we go, Jeff.
We'll continue on.
The Freudian slip. That's funny.
Yes.
Yeah, so actually, Jeff is top 10 Berkshire Hathaway.
Yes.
So Southern California.
Right.
So congratulations on that. That's
Thank you.
a huge accomplishment.
Yeah, it's great. It's great working with a lot of people. So
awesome. Well, thanks for coming on the show. We appreciate it. So let's talk about the process. We're going to talk about rent versus buy, but because it's such an overwhelming process for many, I know you do a great job of really doing some fact finding with clients, profiling.
Absolutely.
Lots of questions. Tell us a little bit about how you do that.
Well, when we first meet with a buyer, in particular, we really try to interview each other. They're trying to find out about me. They're trying to find out what I know. It's a kind of a daunting process at the beginning because people have no idea how do I buy a home, especially the millennials out there, especially those first-time home buyers. They don't really have a process. They really know. So they're interviewing me, but yet trying to figure out everything. And in turn, I'm actually interviewing them as well. I'm trying to find out how quickly do they need to buy a home? Why do they want to buy a home? Where do they want to buy a home? What's their price they can afford? So what we're trying to do specifically is kind of guide them through that process. And part of that process is to have that first interaction and try to build a relationship with each other. And then I can then turn them on to a lender and things like that and give them an idea of what they can afford and what price we should be looking at.
Yeah, that's great information. And so many times the first-time home buyers, I love working with that demographic. They have this idea of what they want in a house, and they have this list of wants, and they go out and shop and realize that they can't get all their wants. And I try to coach them that let's just look at the majority of them, and this is not a house forever. This is just a stepping stone to your next home. So talk about that a little bit when you are trying to coach a client. Yes, it's important to have a wish list, but to be a little bit flexible with. Oh,
absolutely. I think everybody's dream is to walk into one home and say, "This is it.
Everything is.
Oh man, this is it." That generally doesn't happen. So
I got to laugh for a minute because most men will go, "Love it.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's get it." And the wife's like, no, it doesn't have the kitchen in the right place. That happens, huh?
It does happen all the time. But what happens ultimately is that the gentleman actually gets involved in it after that first initial piece. They're getting involved in the fact that, they're looking at the air conditioner, they're looking at the furnace, and they're looking at all those kinds of things.
They're kicking the tires.
Yeah, exactly. What is really important is to get the folks into the home and start saying, look at the bones of the house. Let's not look at the decor. Look at the fact, can you live here? Is this what you're looking for? Does it have a pool? Does it not have a pool? I can't tell you how many clients start out with saying, I don't really want a pool. And we walk in and they see the pool and they say, oh, yeah, I really want
this
a pool.
Is nice.
Right.
Yeah.
So, those are the things that happen in the transition of buying a home and searching for a home. It's never really the first home. But, we get to kind of know each other and what we really want as it goes on.
Yeah, that's great. And the first-time home buyer price point these days tends to go very quickly. So if they want to see 10 homes, oftentimes when they decide on a home, it's gone.
Right.
So,
exactly. Good point.
There's okay, if you feel like you like this is pretty close. Let's jump on this because, next week it's
well, that's why you really have to have your ducks in a row. You have to be with the lender. You have to have pre-approval letters and so forth. Because when we want to write an offer, we want to write an offer quickly, expediently, by having all the pertinent information together, including pre-approval letters, and including all of those kinds of things, understanding really where the price points are, and going for it. You know, sometimes you really have to go for it. We're learning right now that there are certain things in the negotiation process that you can and can't do in first-time home buying. So we got to get it out there, and it's important for me to understand with my clients that they understand what we can ask for and what we really should be focused on in trying to get that home.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's great. American Family Funding, I'll do a quick shameless plug. We can actually do a full loan approval so that you can go in and make an offer like a cash buyer. We've got full credit approval, not just pre-approval.
Yeah, that's great.
So that puts you against that gives you an edge against those people who are, especially in that price point where you're looking at, possibly 5-10 offers at the same time, and I've seen that.
Right.
So that's important.
Yeah.
So talk to us when you're dealing with a new home buyer and they're renting. You talk about the rent versus own.
Right.
Okay, this is how much money you're blowing. Let's, for lack of better words, tell us about what your conversations look like.
It's a very simple conversation. If you're spending $2,000 a month, you're talking about $24,000 a year. You're talking about, if you rent for 10 years, you're talking $240,000 that you just went out the window, that you're paying somebody else. And that's flat.
It's not tax deductible?
Not tax deductible is the most important thing. But secondly, rents go up. It's not just $2,400 for the first year. They continue to go up. So in essence, if you're renting for 10 years, you're just really kind of blowing $300,000. Why wouldn't you put that into a home that you're actually attaining, you're getting something from, and you have the tax benefits from?
Yeah.
So it's just a simple, really, explanation on really it's time to move forward into home ownership.
Absolutely. And they're capitalizing on the appreciation of the home.
You bet.
As homes values go up.
You bet.
Which over long,
and you can draw from that home in other investments that you want to make.
Yeah, absolutely.
So there's a lot there.
So boy, time flies. So when you're talking to the first-time home buyer and they go, well, I don't have any money. I don't have the down payment.
Right.
What do we do?
I have them see you. I have them talk to you because I know that many times we've worked together and you've been able to find those funds that make that deal happen, or that transaction happen, I should say.
There's programs. There's different ways to skin a cat. So those who they think they don't have enough money, we can oftentimes find the way. If they've got the income and the credit, we look at the package. And if it's not something that they can do today, we guide them and coach them perhaps 6 months from now.
Right.
We can put them into something.
You know the crazy thing about that, Patti? You do it all the time, is educate them on what they don't know that they don't know.
Right.
And I think that's so critical when you get in front of Patty and in front of Ed. There's a lot you just don't know when it comes to real estate. Jeff, that is the running
Everybody's
joke.
Everybody's going to know my name now.
That is the going joke. I did that last time. Jeff. But when you get in front of Jeff, the bottom line is there's a lot you just don't know.
Sure.
And when you get into that first house and you take a look at it, and Patty, you've done the same thing, open people's eyes to so much.
Right.
Yeah, we both enjoy teaching, coaching, educating the
It's
clients.
a consultant view.
It definitely
no
is.
doubt.
It's not a transactional situation.
Right.
No doubt. Those want to reach out to you, Jeff?
Yeah, call me, please, 661-433-4770, or my website, which is homesforsale.scv.com.
And email.
Email, Jeff Bugbee, 22.
I knew it was going to be Jeff. That's why I said that.
Jeff Bugbee, 22@gmail.com.
And Patty.
My website is pattyhandy.com, Patty with an I, Handy with a Y, and I'm patty@affloans.com.
All right.
Hope you enjoyed this edition of the Santa Clarita Valley Industry Association Business Spotlight. Host Fred Arnold on AM 1220 KHTS.